Good evening, Mount Vernon. Welcome to the city. Good evening, Mount Vernon. Welcome to the City Council work session. Today is September 23rd, 2024. My name is Caitlin Gleason. I'm City Council President for the City of Mount Vernon this year. To start off with tonight, just a few housekeeping things. Please, everybody who's in the audience or online, please mute yourself. Anybody in the audience, please mute your phones so that the ringers do not go off. There's an exit in the rear to your right and an exit to the front of the room to your right. Ladies' room right outside the door. To the right, there is also an emergency staircase. If you go straight out the front door here, there is a gentleman's room right by the rotunda stairs and an exit there. Outside of the planning department door, there is an AED, which is an artificial defibrillator, just in case of emergency. Tonight, we have the distinct pleasure of welcoming Donna Ortieri and Dominic Mastrogiacomo. And the reason why they're here tonight, because we are celebrating their 100 years for Bracella and Mastro Auto Collision Specialists on South Terrace Avenue here in Mount Vernon. They have been here for 100 years. So number one, we got to celebrate at their auto body shop a few months ago. And I have to tell you that it was very exciting. It's exciting that they are still here after 100 years, over 3 generations, Don? Yes. Over 3 generations of Borsellas. And now we have Mr. Mastrogiacomo as a partner. But I think it's really important to highlight businesses like Borcella and Mastro. And the reason being is they stayed through trying times. They've dealt with the city. They've helped the police department on several occasions. They've done body work for the city. They've done body work for insurance claims all throughout Westchester County. And I think it was important that we bring them here today to honor them. So I'd just like to bring you guys up to the podium and like to read to you the proclamation that we have for you. Resolution.
This is the podium?
This is a council resolution, so all council members should stand. Okay, Donna and Dominic. Whereas the great city of Mount Vernon, New York joins the community in recognizing the service of Borcella and Mastro Auto Collision Specialists to the community for 85 years and, well, it's 100 years, isn't it? 85. 85, sorry. 85 years. Whereas Borcella and Mastro Auto Collision Specialists is a family-owned and operated auto business. Its founder, Victor Borcella, emigrated to Mount Vernon, New York from Italy, and in 1924, he married Angelina Borcella. Together, they started the auto body business in 1939. At that time, the shop was named Victor Borcella and Son Incorporated. And whereas Borcella and Mastro Auto Collision Specialists is known for their skilled and professional work over the decades, they proudly carry a reputation for having well-trained technicians who have impeccable attention to detail. Stories have been told of how Mount Vernon police cars would get into car accidents and Victor Borcella would have the cars fixed before the end of the shift. And we know some people that had that done also, right? And whereas when Victor J. Borcella passed away in 1973, his son Victor J. Borcella Jr. took over the business, and together with his mother Angelina Borcella and wife Sharon Borcella, he successfully carried the torch and ran the family business. In 1991, Victor J. Borcella Jr.'s daughter Donna Borcella Ortieri, and right out of high school, son Richard Borcella came on staff to help run the business. In 1996, at the age of 90, Angelina Borcella passed away. In 1997, Rich Borcella passed away. And then in 1998, Victor J. Borcella Jr. passed away, leaving Donna Borcella Ortieri as the lead to run the family business. Donna, the 3rd generation of the Borcella family, successfully carries on the business, which continues to grow and maintain its stellar reputation. In 2013, Donna went into partnership with Dominic Mastrogiacomo, and rename the business Borsella and Mastro Auto Collision Specialists. Mrs. Sharon Borsella, now 85 years young, is retired and proudly cheers her daughter Donna on from her home in Florida. Donna has two children, John and Danielle, as well as a sister Victoria and niece Alexandra, who carry on the family legacy. And now therefore be it resolved that the city council joins with the citizens of the city of Mount Vernon, New York, to recognize and honor Borsella and Mastro Auto Collision Specialists for the legacy of exemplary service, commitment, dedication to our great city for 85 successful years. We wish you many more years.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have to say something? I guess I could say something. Okay, well, it's an honor to be here and thank you for having us. It's been a family tradition all these years and I'm just glad to be here and thank you so much, everyone, for this proclamation.
You're very welcome. Dominic, you want to say something? You're good? Okay. Picture? With the old picture of.
I want you to know the sign just.
Are they? Yeah, leave them there. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, process. Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. No problem. Thank you. All right.
You too. Okay, I think we could get right into our tally sheet. Am I missing anything? LBW?
Thank you, Council President. So our legislate is down and I got used to being spoiled by all of my notes in that section. So this might go a little slow as I remember what my notes are. So bear with me. Item number 1, I have an ordinance authorizing the Department of Management Services to issue a request for proposals for the selection of a vendor to implement a municipal broadband and free public Wi-Fi system in the city of Mount Vernon. That is agenda pending. Is Commissioner Perez online, Clerk Walters?
Yes.
I would love to ask some questions if I may, Council President.
Absolutely.
Commissioner Perez.
Yes,
Thank you for joining. You're always here. I appreciate that. For the venues that were chosen, I saw that there were some city parks and then there were 2 parking lots. Can you explain the rationale for the parking lots?
the rationale for the parking lots is that we will be using the Wi-Fi not only for public use, but we'll be utilizing the bandwidth for services within the parking lot. So allow citizens to do online payments once they're connected.
Okay, is it too late to expand the Wi-Fi to some of our commercial districts? Such as
It
Fort
is-
Avenue, Bremerton?
No, I would say not. Right now, that was the initial list that we received. But obviously the list can be expanded or modified however council sees fit.
Yeah, I think in a time where we really need some economic development, I would like to see that, but as Councilman Potteet says, I'm 1 of 5. I don't know, does anyone else have an opinion? Okay,
I would also.
well, you only got 2, so it looks like you could say the same, Commissioner.
I'm sorry. The issue is adding Wi-Fi to 4th Avenue.
The issue is, so we're going out for RFP to see who can bring citywide service here, and I'm asking if we can expand it to 4th Avenue in some of our commercial districts.
And where is it going to be now?
Right now it's going to be in the 5 parks. I think they were identified as Hartley Park, 4th Street Park, Fleetwood Playground, Howard Street Playground, and Brush Park, and then in two parking lots, on Lot 8 and Lot 9, which is North Third Avenue between Sydney and Prospect, and Stevens Avenue, right across the street from City Hall.
I guess then my only question is, what's the process for doing it there? Because if it's easy, then yeah, we should add it to Fourth Avenue and Gramerton. I just don't know if it's easy, hard, expensive, cheap.
Yeah, it wouldn't be any harder than the other locations, in my opinion, right? And also, this is just an RFP, so they can give separate pricing for the venues, and if it's too expensive, then we know we can't do it.
Then yeah, please add it. Thanks.
Commissioner Perez, are you able to do that by Wednesday's meeting so we can approve this?
Yes, we can add it. Yes, I can definitely add that if you give me the locations. Comptroller Morton also sent me additional locations that he would like to have added to the list.
Okay, so can I just recite the locations now? Are you able to
Sure.
jot? So Fourth Avenue, the shopping district. I think also Gramerton Avenue. Does Memorial Field have it as well?
Memorial Field currently has Wi-Fi that the city provides. This would be, or at least my vision of it, it would be a separate connection,
Okay.
not necessarily connected to the city, but obviously that is up for discussion.
Okay, I think those, I mean, there's some others like Sanford Boulevard, which we are hoping the comp plan will change, but yeah, I think those are the primary ones for me.
So
Anyone else?
Fourth Avenue, Sanford Boulevard, and what was the other one? I'm sorry.
Gramerton Avenue, going up through that shopping district, so I guess to the circle.
I would do from Broad Street down, no? I'm wondering, Commissioner Perez, touching on what Councilwoman Brown said. Maybe we can try and do like an à la carte where we get prices for each location to be able to determine whether we could do it all?
Yes, I can definitely go back to the vendor. What I've done so far is that I've provided addresses with GPS coordinates, and the vendors that I've started speaking to, they've gone out and done site surveys. And based on those site surveys, they gave me ballpark numbers. Obviously, as we add locations, that would increase the overall cost for the project.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Perez. So hopefully I'll put this as agenda pending and you can just submit an amended letter and we can just get it approved on Wednesday.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's agenda pending. Item number 2, I have an ordinance authorizing 3 staff members from the mayor's office to attend the Cities United 11th annual convening in Seattle, Washington from October 1st through the 4th of 2024. That's on the agenda. Item number.
That's a second vote, correct?
Correct. I have item number 3, an ordinance authorizing department budget line transfers for the Department of Public Works. That is on the agenda. I have item number 4, an ordinance authorizing a request for proposal for design and construction inspection services for the rehabilitation of the South Fulton Avenue Bridge and East 3rd Street Bridge. Clerk Walters, is Commissioner Bush online? Okay.
Councilwoman, I did text the commissioner. He had an emergency. He would not be here or online tonight.
Okay, so this is gonna be agenda pending. What I'm trying to figure out is, for this one is, sorry, doing the old school way. Is the intention to have this backfilled with concrete? Or are we hoping that someone can come in and design that infrastructure to hold the weight of our fire trucks, our ambulances? So it's not going back to where it was before it fell in disrepair. So if we can get that answer, and if it's included in the letter, we can put that on. So I'll have that as agenda pending. Also, this appears to be a contract with this corporation, Assistant Corporation Counsel. Have you had an opportunity to review that contract?
No, I have not.
Okay, will you have the opportunity to review it before Wednesday?
Hopefully I can. I'll look for it.
So, and once so we'll put that agenda pending, so it'll be agenda pending for those two reasons. Item number 5, I have.
I'm sorry, can we go back just a second? So, for number 4, corporation councils to review the contract that appears to be there, and you want to know more specifics on to the
I
scope
wanna
of
know
work?
exactly what's gonna, yes, the scope of
Okay,
work.
scope of
what's gonna
work.
happen.
Scope of work for the design consultant, I can't speak tonight. Design consultant and construction consultant. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Sorry for my ignorance, for the RFP process, working with MWBEs, is that embedded now in the RFP process? Is that just every RFP that comes out? They have to follow the MWBE legislation or?
So how it should be working is, when we get the proposals from the RFP, there should be criteria that we're looking for, and we should be scoring people per the criteria. And being an MWBE should get you additional points. So that's how it should be working. How it's been working, I can't answer.
Got it. Are we gonna have a chance to see the RFP before it goes out to make sure that?
So we can request to see the RFP, right? Historically, in the past, we have seen the full RFPs. There's been a little pushback about it from that administration. But what we've been moving forward with is the scope of work. However, when they choose a contractor, those contracts should be coming back to city council for approval. And the referral letter should say why they chose that specific vendor.
Right, but they could choose a contractor. Who's the lowest bidder? Give it to us and we would never know that there was an MWBE vendor 5% higher.
So we can ask for that information in the referral letters. All right, so they should explain how they picked, what led them to pick the appropriate whatever vendor.
Okay, thanks.
All right, item number 5, I have an ordinance authorizing emergency mold abatement and repair services at Station 1, Lincoln Avenue Firehouse. That is on the agenda. I have item number 6. Yeah, I'm trying to catch up. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to commit the 10% non-federal matching share for the FEMA hazard mitigation grant program for the South Street and South 3rd and South Columbus Avenue flood mitigation. Are you familiar with this, Council President? Or any council member, actually?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so I know it seems as if we're supposed to put up the $95,000, but I'm trying to figure out what exactly the flood mitigation program is. So we can put this for agenda pending, and hopefully I can get a response from Commissioner Bush by Wednesday. We have item number 7, an ordinance amending ordinance number 3 adopted by the city council on June 26th, entitled an ordinance authorizing the transfer of funds for the purchase of a new vehicle for the Department of Public Works utilizing ARPA funds. That is on the agenda.
I have a question.
Sure.
Hold on. Hold on 1 sec. Let me just pull it up. So this is because it was the price, right? Correct? The price is different?
According to the letter, the vehicle was no longer available, so they had to go to a new vendor, and the price is cheaper. at the new vendor. So yes, they're amending the old legislation to change the vendor name and the amount of the vehicle.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Item number 8 is an ordinance authorizing an emergency contractual agreement with PCI Industries, Inc. for the sewer repair at 656 Hanover Place. That is on the agenda. I have item number 9, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to retroactively enter into emergency contractual agreement with PCI Industries for emergency sewer repairs at 27 Vernon Place. That is on the agenda. I have item number.
I have a question.
Sure, Council President.
So, I mean, I'm reading the referral letter, but why is it retroactive?
It's an emergency,
Was between meetings?
it's an emergency sewer backup that they needed to clear and DPW didn't have the equipment to do so.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Item number 10, I have an ordinance authorizing the attendance of Monica Hughes. Yeah, did I put too much emphasis on that, G? Monica Hughes, and Milton Van at the 2024 Catalyst Experience hosted by Road Water Lab. This is, give me a second. It's on the agenda. And then I have item number 11, an ordinance authorizing the transfer of funds to the 2024 City Council expense account for the purchase of furniture and office supplies. Does anybody, council members know what this is?
So I have a question, clerk, was this for the chairs?
Yeah. Here is, put a little bit more money in it in case we need anything for it.
The chairs, meaning these chairs?
Yes,
I thought didn't we purchase these last year?
and they were breaking.
Huh? Oh, so we got new chairs? Oh, okay, got you. And then there were office expenses. What are those? It says for office expenses, supplies and,
It's just the proper cheers and whatever offices that line is something goes to cover. There's the other additional.
got you. And do we know how much we currently have in the contracted outside services line?
I'm sorry, so I'll repeat. So the transfer is to cover the purchase of the chairs for the city council chambers and also any other additional office supplies that the council may need. There was a little bit more put in for transfer than required just for cushion. But of course, it's going to go back into the general fund if it's not used. And you ask, what was your other question?
Where are we currently at with contracted outside services? So I know we have some services that we still need to purchase. So I want to make sure we're not going to deplete that line and then require another transfer.
I'm not sure, but I don't believe that we are taking, because we're taking from various lines, just not contracted outside services.
No, I get that, but I want to make sure that we keep the appropriate amount in that line is what I'm saying. Do we know
Okay.
where we are now?
No, I can give you that amount tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you. So we can just put that as agenda pending. And I believe I have an add-on. At least they told me I was gonna have an add-on.
Okay, clerk, for item number 11, we should, you and I should always have a conversation before that, okay? Before it
Oh.
gets put on the agenda.
Okay.
I know that we spoke about like purchasing the chairs, but the referral letter is a little bit more than what I thought it was going to be, so,
Okay,
all right?
all right.
Awesome, and I have an add-on, a resolution to the City Council of the City of Mount Vernon, New York, recognizing and honoring the service of Forcella and Mastro Auto Collision Specialist. And that is who we just honored. That is going to be on the agenda. And I was impressed when you said it was open 100 years. And I was like, well, they look good for 100, but
I made the mistake. It's 85 years. 85 years.
that concludes my report, Council President.
Human Resources.
Thank you, Madam President. I have item number 12, Recreation Department, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Westchester County Office of Senior Programs and Services. That's on the agenda. Item number 13.
Council President,
Go right ahead.
do we, Corporation Counsel, did we ever get a review of this contract? Oh, Assistant Corporation Counsel, I don't want any problems.
From your mouth to God's ear. Yes, we have the contract and we got a letter explaining, we had an issue about the years. That contract came to us in August. And it is for the 24 year.
So we're good with the contract?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Corporation Counsel, Assistant Corporation Counsel.
That's on the agenda, yes. Item number 13 from the Youth Bureau, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to retroactively enter into an agreement with Bedrock Entertainment for videography services for the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau Ready for Life program. That's on the agenda. Item number 14. Put your hand down.
Hold on a minute.
I think, Council President, you have to turn your mic off. You're giving.
Yeah, I know. No, I did turn it off. Recognizing Councilwoman Brown.
So I read the letter. It says that it was retroactive because the vendor was late with the document, the required documents. So I guess how are we entering in the contract before we get the documents? How do we know that we can move forward if no one's reviewed it? He was ready for me, huh?
I don't know why there's so much feedback with the mic today. Yes, but this is services that they use often. And you know, as you stated, they were waiting for that letter. The letter is updated, so being that it was already in play, that's why the verbiage is as such.
All right, well, two more things. If we use this often, why can't we get the contract in ahead of time first? And second of all, this is videography work. We have 4 people in communications. Why is communications not able to do this videography work? Why are we paying outside folks?
That was a portion that is grant funding. That's a portion that it was outsourced and it's on the website that they appealed to the community who was ever interested. You didn't see that?
No, I don't know.
Hold on.
No, I didn't.
Okay, one at a time, one at a time. Councilman Thompson. Go, and then I'll recognize Councilwoman Brown and you'll turn your mic off. Councilman Thompson.
Yes, as per our letter here, they've been utilizing these services since 2017. And communications has, I wish I need to pull up the actual thing that's on the website, but they've been coinciding with our regular communications, and they have outside communications which is paid for through the grant, no cost to the city.
No, I understand that. I'm just gonna piggyback on what Councilwoman Brown said. Like, what is the reason that we outsource this rather than using the in-house communications team?
So, I'll, have our director get back to you on that for tomorrow.
Okay, so we're
So
gonna
that's
put it
gonna be
as agenda pending?
for now.
Agenda pending, you said?
Yes, agenda pending for now.
Okay,
And
thank
I'll
you.
have her, email you all in the morning for more clarification of that. Number 14, the Youth Bureau, an ordinance authorizing the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau to hang banners and signs at various locations to discourage or prevent opioid misuse. That's on the agenda. Item number 15, from the Youth Bureau, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter an agreement with Flying Classroom for the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau Saturday STEAM program, which will run from October 5th, 2024 to November 23rd, 2024, in the amount of $18,000. That's on the agenda. Item number 16, from City Council, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Vernon, New York, recognizing the commitment and service of Sydney Duncombe, Duncombe. I hope I don't mess up their last name. That's on the agenda. Number 17 is also on the agenda, a resolution of the City Council of the Mount Vernon, New York, recognizing the commitment and service of the Greater Hudson Valley, New York chapter of the Links Incorporated. That's also from YCOP. That's on the agenda. Item 18, I'll just do all of these. Item 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23 are all resolutions. They will all be on the agenda. 18 is for Linda L. Jacobs. 19 is for Lieutenant Krista Mann. 20 is for Amira Roberts. 21 is for Jennifer Vodroska. I hope I didn't mess your last name up. 22 is for Loretta J. Hottinger. And 23 is for the Right Reverend Derek Adams to the Office of Bishop Designate. That's on the agenda. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Potteet, Public Safety and Code. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on. Councilwoman Brown.
Corporate Assistant Corporation Counsel, the agreement for, number 15, has your office had the opportunity to review that?
Number 15, not as of yet.
Will you be able to review by Wednesday?
If it's in my office, I will.
Look forward to hearing about it. Thank you.
If I may,
Councilman Thompson.
before we go any further, human resources for our youth bureau, Director Burrell is online. If you see her, so she can answer, further answer the question. Or
Okay,
number
no problem.
13.
That is for item number 13 and
Item number
15
13, yes.
and 15.
And 15, if you have a
Okay.
question for 15.
Well, we just want to make sure the Corporation Council has that contract, but item number 13, yes. Clerk?
So sorry, before Director Burrow starts, Assistant Corporation Counsel, that's an agreement for 13 and 15. Can you review those for Wednesday as well?
Yes.
Thank you.
Clerk Walters? Can we have
Director Burrell.
Director
Direct-
Burrell Butler?
Executive Director Bureau Butler.
Good night, buddy.
Good evening.
How are you?
Doing well. So I'm gonna pass off to Councilwoman Brown. She had some questions. Go ahead.
So we were talking about item number 13 with Bedrock Entertainment for videography services. Councilman Thompson said this is a contract that you've used or a vendor you've used in the past. So I was wondering why we couldn't get the contract in on time if that was the case.
So can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so the individual that we're using was contracted to follow the Ready for Life program for a good month. within work hours, the school within after school hours. And so I did hear why we couldn't use City Hall for people that we have. And that's because there was really a 5 days, Monday to Friday, throughout the day that we would need him for a whole month. And so that would interrupt using this individual. It would interrupt using City Hall employees. And so we use somebody that's outside. In addition, we negotiated a a lesser price because we're using him throughout the whole month. We also use him at the gala, and we also use him at the end of year event for the Ready for Life program being paid out of the Ready for Life. So to answer one of the biggest questions you asked, why we couldn't use City Hall employees, I guess because it would be time consuming for City Hall employees who have other City Hall events to attend to.
Thank you. And how about the retroactive nature of the agreement?
That's because of the negotiation having a more lower price because we do business with him. So the initial price was negotiated to even a lesser amount. And therefore, that took time, and hence he already had started doing what he was doing. And therefore, because of the nature he started, we had to put retro on it. And that grant ends September 29th and restart back up on September 30th. This is the 5-year grant for Ready for Life. And so it's not like we could have said, let's go to the next city council meeting, because then that would take money from the new year, new cycle for Ready for Life.
I got you. So I guess my concern is if Assistant Corporation Counsel reviews this agreement and finds that it's not a good agreement for the city, what
Right.
position does that put us in?
I guess I would speak to Corporation Counsel on that. I hope that's not the case.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Any other questions for Director Burrell? Okay, moving on.
Item number 15, I believe you said.
Yes, ma'am.
What was the question for that one?
Ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Flying Classroom for the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau Saturday STEAM program.
Mhm.
Do we have the contract, and has it been given to Corporation Counsel for review?
We have Schedule A and B. I don't have the contract.
Okay, anybody else for any other questions? She does not have the contract. Item number 15.
Okay, so has Schedule A and B been given to Assistant Corporation Counsel?
I did not give it to Corporation Counsel. It is attached to this referral letter. So I could provide
They have it.
counsel.
Once it's attached to the letter, they have it.
Oh, yeah. So yes, they have it. Everybody has it.
I will draft the agreement.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions?
Anybody else? Okay, moving on. Thank you, Director Burrell. We appreciate you being online.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right, on to public safety and codes.
Thank you, Council President. Item number 24 from the Department of Buildings and ordinance authorizing the Department of Buildings to solicit a request for proposal for outside contract services for fire safety and property maintenance inspections of multi-dwelling and non-residential properties. That will be on the agenda. We discussed this with Commissioner Holder when he was here in July. And he, at that point, moves forward with La Bella to do these services, and we asked them to issue an RFP going forward. So that's what this RFP represents. Item number 25.
President. Council President.
Any questions? Councilwoman Brown?
So I know we had some issues with this one before about, let me just ask, has the Corporation Counsel's office approved this? We're good to go? The same issue that came up before won't come up again?
Assistant Corp Counsel, item number 24, can you answer that?
I'm taking a look now. I need to check that to confirm.
So do we want to make that agenda pending until questions are answered?
Sure, just so I understand what was the issue, so I could.
It was union related.
Um, Got it. Okay. Make a note. Director Mack, welcome. Good evening, good evening. Item number 25 from the IDA, an ordinance granting permission to the mayor to enter into an agreement with Con Ed, with Consolidated Edison Company, Con Edison, to conduct a test borehole for the Thermal Energy Network pilot project at the Dole Recreation Center. So there's a question that I have, and I'm happy that you're here. When they were here before, we had asked them about their MWBE goals and if they had set any or local hiring goals.
Excuse me, can we just ask Director Mack to come up to the microphone?
Sure.
Thank you.
So if you could give us some clarity on if they've presented those plans to you or if it's in process or.
So the project that Con Ed is working on, the U10 project, the thermal energy project, is in 2 phases. The first phase is testing to see if the energy project would work here in the city of Mount Vernon. That's the test borehole that is being presented tonight, or asked that the mayor enter into an agreement with Con Ed. And that's for the purpose of drilling down and putting in that one test borehole for the entire project. And if it is feasible, then they will move forward to the phase 2. Now, relative to the MWBE, we are working with my office as well as the Director of Sustainability through DPW. We're working to, and Con Ed, put on a vendor or contractor meeting scheduled in November where we can target those vendors who provide contracting services, construction, drilling, and such, and help walk them through the process towards becoming certified with Con Ed. Right now, we're targeting the 3rd week in November for that event to begin. So that's an indirect way of saying that there isn't a target number in place right now because there just isn't enough information. And for that very reason, we're going to have our own outreach.
Sorry, just one other question. When does Con Ed plan to come back for the phase 2, assuming that phase 1 works?
So they will come back when the council, needs them to come back. So if we need them to come back November, they can come back October. They're prepared to come back.
Different
Oh,
question.
in terms of the phase 2?
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
when are they going to be ready?
So once they get the results from phase 1, that's the test borehole, then their plan is to conduct the outreach to the contractors in November, and that should put them on schedule to talk about phase 2 in January, February timeframe.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Any further questions?
I do not have any. Does any other council person? Okay.
Thank
In the
you.
interest, can I interrupt public safety and codes and just go back to LBW because we do have Commissioner Bush here? And if we can, is everybody in agreement? Okay, thank you. Commissioner Bush, if you could please come up There were questions regarding item number 4, which is Department of Public Works and ordinance authorizing a request for proposal for design and construction inspection services for the rehabilitation of the South Fulton Avenue Bridge and East Third Street Bridge. And I'm going to defer to Councilwoman Brown.
Going off the top right now too. I don't have any.
You got time. Are we trying to fill this with concrete to make it more stable, to hold our trucks? Are we trying to get it back to where it was? What exactly is the goal here?
Great question. Because we were going back and forth with that. After we cleaned it out, we did see there's a lot of space underneath that bridge facility. So the purpose of this actual RFP is to get the engineers on board to determine what is the best feasible, cost-effective solution to it as well too. We did get some preliminary discussions on would it make sense to backfill that entire area. Therefore, we wouldn't have to worry about it ever again. It would take it off the state's registry for bridges as well. But after we did the C and D debris cleanup underneath it, we did see that there's a lot of space that could be used, possible storage for some of our snow trucks, many different options. But that's the part of where we're at right now, is to seeing the cost effective. It doesn't make sense to backfill it, or does it make sense to actually do the repairs going forward. The good thing is this grant is $4.5 million in total. This $1 million tranche is just kind of the first phase of it. But we'll see going forward.
Gotcha. Another question I had around what exactly is the hazard mitigation project program on 3rd and Columbus?
That's another lifesaver. If you guys remember I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, when we were on the news and the guy was jet skiing in the middle of South Columbus Avenue, where the Salvation Army used to be. This grant is for that area to do a flood mitigation study to determine what feasible engineering solutions we can do to mitigate that problem. As we all know, we did some preliminary discussions in that area to figure out what was happening. And one of the things we identified was the river in that area. It might need to be trenched. That is something that is actually on a state level in terms of discussion, because every time there's a high tide there or it rains, the water literally has nowhere to go out to. So we did do some of our repairs in terms of our system, but there's a large scale issue in that area. And this grant is the first phase of that. So we applied for it. The actual U.S. Army Corps of Engineers were involved. We took them and they came in and we showed them the area. They kind of guided us in terms of getting this funding for it.
Awesome. I think those might have been the questions. We could switch those both on the agenda. I think that might have been, no, number 1 wasn't his. Okay.
Are you satisfied? One of the items that you noted was more wording on the referral letter for the scope of work, or no? Are you good?
No, he doesn't have a clear answer, so there's nothing to change.
Okay.
Which one was that?
That was for the 3rd Street Bridge and Fulton Bridge.
I
I was looking for you to put in exactly what the goal was, what we were trying to do, but you want them to decide.
Yeah, that's the purpose of it, is bringing the experts in to determine, well, give us a better scope on what is feasible and what is not feasible too. So this is the first phase of that.
Okay, so I have a question because I just had a conversation about this a few weeks ago. Had a few people contact us in regards to that area and them not having enough notification on what's going on around there. Do we put any thought into putting signage up as to, you know, notifying the area residents? And not only the area residents, there's some businesses, well, at least one that I know of, that cannot use his building whatsoever, even though it was recently renovated over.
Wait, which area are you speaking about?
Oh, I'm thinking of 3rd Avenue. 3rd Ave. I'm thinking of 3rd Avenue, not 3rd.
I know it's a lot going on right now.
Yeah, completely different subject.
Wait, refresh my memory, because it's a lot.
Forget it. Moving on. I'm good.
Good?
Yeah, we'll have another conversation about that though.
Thank you. No problem. Have a good night.
Two.
Is this now agenda or is still agenda pending? Okay.
Yes, both should be moved to agenda. Oh, you did a great job.
Thank you for that.
Okay, public safety and codes, we are on item number 25. We just finished. Are we good with, Director Mack?
We are. Thank you, Director.
Okay,
Mack.
that's on the agenda.
Item number
okay.
26.
Hold on one sec. Wanted to get back to item number 24. The mayor has contacted me and has said that it's an RFP, not a contract for buildings, and it will not interfere with the union. I don't know if that's satisfactory.
That doesn't make sense to me. It's a RFP, but we enter into a contract once somebody is chosen. So I'm confused by that.
Just referencing what the mayor contacted us on.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to item number 26. We're on item 26. 25 was, come on, John.
So let's change item number 24 to agenda pending until
I
we,
thought it was always agenda pending.
perfect.
Yeah,
So
okay.
item number 24 is agenda pending. 25 is agenda. 1026, Department of Public Safety, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an intermunicipal agreement with the county of Westchester for replacement of the current single band VHF antenna with a tri-band and antenna, at the Mount Vernon Police Headquarters. That will be on the agenda. Item number 27 from Public Safety, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an intermunicipal agreement with the county of Westchester to accept mutual aid radios for use by the Mount Vernon Police Department. That will be on the agenda. Item number 28, also from Public Safety, an ordinance authorizing the increase in funding for the position of personnel associate in the Department of Public Safety and reappropriating funds from a vacated position formerly titled as personnel specialist. We have Commissioner Gibson on the line. Commissioner Gibson, there's a question that I had about this item. Thank you for joining.
Good evening.
Good evening. There's a vacant from the referral letter computer analyst position. And I'm wondering, why is that position vacant and going to stay vacant for the rest of the year?
Well, the position is vacant because it's a current employee, and the employee has to do a leave of absence to we have to keep the position open.
So the employee took a leave of absence.
To accept the other position.
Got it.
So
So then,
is the other, I'm sorry, Commissioner Gibson, I apologize for interrupting. So this is an appointed position and not a tested position, or that there's no list for this position?
It will be a tested position.
will be, it will.
Gotcha. So what employees usually do is they take a leave of absence from their civil service job that they have security on
Mhm.
when they move to that, and then they usually take that test. But from my understanding, they can still hire for that position, correct, Commissioner? The one that's being vacated, but it would be on a provisional basis?
Yes, it'll be on a provisional basis.
Right. So I guess this leads to another question. If we're taking funding from the computer console operator position to pay for the increase in salary for this new hire, then our intent is not to backfill the computer console operator position.
That is correct.
Right. And so then I'm wondering, why don't we need to backfill that position?
Why we'd have to backfill it or not to backfill it?
Not to backfill it. So why was there a decision made that we don't need that position, at least for this year?
At this time, we don't need the position because we are trying to fund that one position, and it's going to leave the computer position open. So that's for the rest of the year. So we have enough money to cover this position.
Right. That I get that, but what does the computer console operator do? Right, because we aren't going to have someone doing that. So what do they do, and what changed now that we don't need them doing what they were doing?
Well, it's a position that the current computer analyst put in for, and we're pretty much getting away from that position. So it won't be a position for the future, and the existing salary for the rest of the year will be brought to the other position to cover that position.
Got it. So it's my understanding, and then that I want to leave time for the other council members if they have questions, that the personal associate is going to be doing the job of that position and the job of the computer console operator?
No, it would just be that one position. That it's a new position that was open, and we're just trying to get the funding for it.
Can I
So
interrupt for a second?
Please.
Okay, so you're eliminating the computer console position in the next budget or no?
I believe so. I don't have the budget, what we allotted for next year in front of me, but the idea is to eliminate some of the positions so we have the position in personnel, so we can take a police officer out of that position to conduct personnel.
Okay,
Um,
so it's taking a police officer out of the position and putting a civilian in, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so to be clear, we're gonna eliminate that computer console position?
As of right now, yes.
Okay, Councilwoman Brown?
So again, we just put in there so the position is competitive enough to cover the incoming position, personnel going into that position.
Councilwoman Brown, did you have a question?
Can you repeat that, Commissioner? I didn't understand what you said.
Please repeat that, Commissioner.
We increase that salary for the personnel associate.
Yeah, you're trying to increase that. What's not clear to me is, are you sure that the computer console operator position is not going to be there next year?
I would have to check. I do not believe so, but I'll check on that.
Okay, so to Councilman Potteet's earlier question is, what was this person doing? Why did we have them in this budget to begin with if we don't need someone to do this role?
They were promoted to another position.
Right, but you said that position that they were promoted to, the personnel position, is not going to be doing the duties that the computer console person was doing.
Right.
Right, so if they're not going to be doing it, why did we have this position in the budget if we don't need those duties to be done?
The person that was in the position got promoted to the analyst position. So until the end of the year, that position is still open, and the salary was still open. So working with HR, we decided to align the position with the new personnel associate position.
Commissioner, I realize, we're putting you on the spot. I'm going to make this agenda pending. If you could just send us an email, unless there's further questions, confirming that the computer console position will be phased out for next year.
Okay, I'll have to be tomorrow.
What I would like in addition to that is
Councilwoman Brown?
the job description for computer console operator and the job description for personnel associate.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Item number 28 will be agenda pending that email. Item number 29 from the Department of Public Safety, and ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a renewal contract agreement with the New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets for fuel inspection and testing services. That will be on the agenda. Item number 30 from Public Safety, and ordinance amending ordinance number 45 adopted by the City Council on August 14th, 2024, entitled an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Electronic System Solutions, Inc., ESS, for the installation and maintenance of a citywide camera surveillance system. That will be on the agenda. I'm sorry. That will be agenda pending.
Okay, I have a question regarding that.
Shoot.
Corporation Counsel. Assistant Corporation Counsel, did you review this contract? Wait a minute. Did you review the amendment?
I don't believe I have. I have to double check that. That's
Okay,
not-
okay, so we'll leave that as agenda pending.
And Commissioner, since you're here, the amendment is for, it looks like a cost overrun of about $38,000, which is, I don't know, 20% of the contract. Do we know why that happened? The letter gives a description, but I don't quite get it, that it says the increase of 38,000 plus is due to the need for service to be attached to each camera and a wraparound maintenance agreement of the camera system. Could you explain that?
Is Commissioner Gibson still online, clerk? All right. Thank you.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's fine. So the ESS, the rationale for the amendment for this contract is that there's a cost overrun of about $38,000. And the reason given in the letter is that it says that there is service needed for each camera and a wraparound maintenance agreement for the camera system. Could you clarify that? Is it that there's going to be a physical server on each camera, or it'll be connected to a server, or something different? Because I'm not a tech guy.
Right. Neither am I, but initially when we put up we did the survey of the cameras, we thought these new cameras would be covered through the service. Then ESS, they did another assessment, and there's not enough, there's additional service that need to be done. We thought we can connect that service to the current cameras. So we have existing cameras up. We thought the new cameras with its proximity would cover those. Then we discovered it could not be done.
So it's that the new cameras which we have couldn't connect to the old service, which
it can't be, not to the service, it just can't cover the whole, there's going to be a lapse. So we thought, the service that they had with the existing cameras can cover the new ones, but it cannot be done.
So then they have to buy new servers for the new cameras?
No, it's just that we have to get it's like an attachment. So we thought if you had camera in one location, it would cover the new location, not the new location, but the area in which it would cover, but it's not, I guess, strong enough to cover both of it. So we need a new server to cover that one, including with that is the maintenance agreement for each camera.
Got it.
It's like a wide hotspot.
Got it. Thank you for the comment. I'm just curious if in the current contract we have with them, that this is covered. And if somehow we can scrub that contract just to see if we can have this vendor give us those services without the cost increase.
So I try to do that with with them, but they need to cover each camera with a contract. So it's individual cameras. So I was trying to get an overall project, but they do it on each camera.
If you don't mind, let's talk about this offline, just so that I can have a better understanding of it. And I'll leave this agenda pending until I can get some more clarity on this. Is that fine with council? Commissioner?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll leave this, I'm sorry, so we'll leave this one agenda pending.
Okay.
And 31 from the city council, a local law to amend chapter 267 of the code of the city of Mount Vernon to regulate short-term rentals. That will be on the agenda. Item number 32 from
I
city
have a
council.
question.
Oh.
I just want to make sure that's all set. Anything that we needed to do, we're able to vote on it, correct? Clerk Walters?
Correct. There has been no written comments for this local law.
Okay, thank you very much. Item number 32, go ahead, Councilman.
I'm sorry to be long-winded here, but are we sure that there weren't any written comments?
For the short-term rental, correct. At least none was sent to us via email.
Okay.
Are you aware of a written comment?
I am. So if I have written comments, not me, but if I know constituents that have written comments, can I forward them to you?
Sure. Do you know who they sent them
I
to?
believe it's Mike Sklar. And I thought that he did send it to the clerk's office, but I'm not sure. Okay, thanks.
I know that he sent you an email since the last, okay.
I'm not sure if it got to you, that's all. So I can forward it.
Okay, moving on, item number 32.
From City Council, a local law establishing a local government code enforcement program in the city of Mount Vernon, New York. That will be on the agenda, and I have no add-ons. Thank you, Council President.
Okay, I have, I know. Councilwoman Brown, you have a question?
I do, Assistant Corporation Counsel. Looks like we have a lot of agreements on this agenda.
Yes.
Are you gonna be able to review all of them before Wednesday?
I think so.
Oh, you talented.
You're putting me into work, but I think we can.
Look forward to it. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the mayor has asked to speak. So, Madam Mayor?
Madam Mayor?
Hello? Hello?
Go ahead. Hi, Madam Mayor. Good evening.
Good evening. Just really quickly, I wanted to go back to the personnel associate issue because it was very, very unclear to the council and I understand why it was unclear. So the computer console operator is an old position that is being phased out. The individual in that position, as the commissioner said, was promoted to an analyst position, which is more in keeping with today. The personnel associate position are two positions that were created last year and put in the budget because we'd had officers who were making $106,000 a year doing clerical personnel paperwork. And we wanted them to return to, patrol and to policing work. So the personnel associate is for the personnel division of the police department. The computer console operator position, I believe the individual took the position in the beginning of January. And so her leave of absence expires in January And then that position will be eliminated in the 2025 budget. So I just wanted to make that clear. The personnel associate position is not where the person went. They went to an analyst position. And that position, the computer console operator position, is an old and defunct kind of almost like a switchboard, keyboard position that is being decommissioned.
Councilman Potteet, any further questions? Councilman Brown? Box Hill? Thompson? Thank you, Madam Mayor. We appreciate the clarity.
Thank you.
Anybody
And is
else?
Commissioner Perez still on the line? Because if he's still on the line, I wanted to know if he could give clarity to the ESS servers, or if y'all just want him to do that tomorrow. The ESS server for the additional cameras.
Commissioner Perez?
I am still here, yes. And sorry about the dogs. And I'm sorry, what was the question?
I don't know if you were present for the discussion that Commissioner Gibson was having, saying they needed to add a server with ESS for some of the additional cameras that were coming on. I don't know if y'all have coordinated. If y'all haven't coordinated, then I guess you can coordinate on the back end, but you may not have been kind of attuned to that discussion that was had about 7 minutes ago.
I did hear, and again, I apologize for the dogs barking. I did hear part of the question. I know in working with ESS, they came in and they were assessing the space, and they did come up with, I'm sorry, they did come up with additional requirements. Let me see if I can get them to be quiet. I'm sorry.
Or he can just, do it tomorrow, but I wanted to make sure that y'all had the answers that you needed. And since he is more of the management information systems person, should be better able to answer your question.
Any other questions?
Is this now agenda or still agenda pending? Item number 28.
Okay, I'm sorry, I am back. I will definitely get additional detailed answers for City Council, but I know, again, when we had the meeting with them in the Aware Room, they were going through the space and they did require additional resources, but I will get details for the City Council.
Thank you. Were there any other questions regarding the computer console operator, the personnel associate, and the analyst position to which the computer console operator has been promoted to?
Councilwoman Brown? That's a no. Councilman Potteet? Box Hill? Councilman Thompson? I should say Councilman Box Hill. I apologize. I didn't mean to say Box Hill. I know.
No,
that
I'm
was
clear.
disrespectful.
I'm clear with 28. Potteet said it'll be on the agenda now. I'm just wondering about 30, being that we have the other commissioner there. Is that still agenda pending, or has the commissioner answered it satisfactorily?
The answer is no, and I need more clarity on this because I don't quite understand the cost overrun, right? We have a vendor who's worked with us before. They knew what our systems were. Unless what I'm saying is wrong. If this is a new vendor that gave us new cameras, great. But if it's an old vendor that gave us an update, they should have known that the new cameras needed the right service to back them up, if that's what the issue was. So that to hit us with a 20% cost overrun for an existing condition, to me, just doesn't seem fair, unless there's some facts that I don't know.
Commissioner Perez is going to follow up on that tomorrow and will get back to the council and to the mayor. Okay? So
Thank
yeah,
you.
we're not thank you for keeping it in the pending position so that we can get adequate information. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We appreciate the commissioners being online and the commissioners that came in this evening. Right now, I will entertain a motion to go into executive session for personnel issues and also an interview.
I would like to make a motion for us to go into executive session to deal with personnel issues. So moved.
You say, okay, roll call?
Councilman Boxill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Brown,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Gleason.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, thank you. We are back. I will entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
I would like to make a motion to come out of executive session. So moved.
Somebody has a
Second.
second. Roll call?
Councilman Boxell, Councilwoman Brown, Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Gleason.
Aye.
Okay, the
Are there
time-
any closing comments that council would like to say? Anything?
Yes, I would like to congratulate our DC Heidi Mamick Alcar on her new wedding that she did last week. And also her new wedding, as if she had another one.
Do you have?
Right. Her wedding that she had last week, it was wonderful, beautiful. Just a new one, right? And I would also like to say, today is my aunt's birthday, so happy birthday to my aunt Carrie Ritter. She's 90 years young today. Yeah.
Councilman Potteet.
Thank you, Council President. YCOP is having their annual gala on Thursday, September 26th. So if you haven't bought a ticket or haven't bought a table, please buy one. It's a great organization and they should be supported. So please come out to the gala, September 26th. Thanks.
Councilwoman Brown.
Since Councilman Potteet is trying to battle, the youth shelter of Westchester is having a gala on September 27th on Friday. Please come out and buy a ticket, buy a table, buy an ad, whatever you can do.
Anyone else? Clerk Walters.
Thank
Early
you,
vote.
Council President. Yes, and so just want to remind everyone that this Saturday coming up, September 28th at 12 noon here at City Hall. We're partnering with the county to have local voter registration. So if you're not yet registered to vote, you should come out and register to vote at City Hall. Also, you can then pick up your absentee ballot if you're not going to be here to vote during voting season. So please come out on the 28th, which is this Saturday, from 12 noon until 9 p.m.
Councilwoman Brown.
Since, nobody wants to go home. Every Sunday at Memorial Field at 9 a.m. I am walking outside from 9 to 10, encouraging people to be active, get out and walk, get a little exercise in. It's beautiful walking around the track, so please come out and join. It's every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. And also, since Aunt Carrie got a shout out, my mother's birthday was September 20th, so whoop whoop to Mama Brown.
Okay, anybody else? With that being said, we don't have to have a motion to close the meeting. So we will be back here on September 25th at 7 p.m. We hope to see you there, Mount Vernon. Thank you so much. Have a good night.